All praise to you, gracious Creator. You have gathered us in this university community to praise you by our words and our works. Bless the University of Alberta, which seeks to teach whatsoever things are true. Bless the students and professors, the non-academic staff and support staff, the administration, those who volunteer on the University Board of Governors, Senate, and Alumni Council, and all who promote sound education in our community. We ask that those who leave here today, blessed with their degrees, may be given grace and strength to serve in our global home. May we grow in wisdom and grace before you and all your people. May this university always be a home of truth and wisdom, of faith and goodwill toward all. Please be seated. Welcome to the University of Alberta. My name is Doug Stollery, and I have the privilege of serving as Chancellor of the University of Alberta and conferring all of your degrees today. The University of Alberta acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 6 territory and respects the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. On behalf of the entire university community, I'm delighted to welcome you to this convocation. We're very pleased that so many friends and family members could join us as we celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. This is a ceremony full of traditions. What do they mean? Convocation is a Latin term meaning a gathering together of all qualified degree holders in a university community. This tradition dates back almost 700 years. As you participate in today's ceremony, you are walking in the footsteps of many generations of scholars. Today's formal opening procession to the stage, led by our Chief Marshal and the University Mace, originates in the procession of the Guild of Teachers. Such guilds in past centuries were dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, with individuals moving from apprentice to master to teacher, assuming increasing responsibilities for learning and leadership in society. You will have noted the variety of academic gowns worn for today's ceremony. As Chancellor, I wear our University of Alberta colors of green and gold. The many different academic gowns, hoods, and caps here on stage today reflect centuries of university tradition. They declare, in their various designs and colors, the alma mater and qualifications of the academic and community leaders who are here on stage to celebrate with you. Your own academic gowns and hoods also date back to the Middle Ages. The different colors of your hoods signify to everyone here and to our society the degree that you have earned. As to the Oxford-style mortarboards on your heads, historians suggest that these are a symbol of the scholar's independence and freedom. Today we also celebrate your new leadership role in our community, and we have invited a number of community leaders to share in the celebration. Following my remarks, we will hear formal greetings brought by Mr. Michael Fair, Chair of the Board of Governors of the University of Alberta, and by the Honorable Marlon Schmidt, Minister of Advanced Education and member of the Legislative Assembly for Edmonton Goldbar. Following these greetings, our first address to convocation will be from our University of Alberta President, Dr. David Turpin. Our second address to convocation will be from a distinguished guest who has accepted our invitation to receive an honorary doctorate of laws, our university's highest honor. Today it is a great privilege to welcome Stephen Lewis, wearing the traditional red and white honorary degree robes that date back to the founding of our university. An honorary degree recognizes inspiring role models and leaders and celebrates extraordinary achievements or remarkable service to society. Following the presentation of the honorary degree, we will begin the recognition of your degrees. One of our deans will present you to our community on behalf of the faculties, and our president will guide you through your pledge to pursue the encouragement of learning and the public good. It will then be my great honor to admit you to your degrees and confer upon you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that come with being a university graduate. Then it will be your turn up here with us. Each of you will cross the stage as your name is called. For everyone here, that will be the most important part of our ceremony. Your degree will be conferred as I congratulate you and we shake hands. That moment will bind you and the University of Alberta together for all time. Your families and friends are witness to that commitment. All of the history and tradition within today's ceremony is in honor of you, our graduands. Everyone is here to recognize the importance of your achievements, including the members of our platform party. Joining the celebration at the center of the stage with me today is our president, Dr. David Turpin, and the chair of our Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Fair. I am very pleased that deans and professors from our faculties of Graduate Studies and Research, Education, Physical Education and Recreation, Rehabilitation Medicine, Faculté Saint-Jean, Native Studies, and Public Health are here to congratulate each graduate as you cross the stage. I would also like to recognize Elder Betty Latendre, who is here today to extend a special note of congratulations to our Aboriginal graduates as they receive their degrees. I'm equally delighted that distinguished guests on the convocation stage also include past University of Alberta honorary degree recipients, members of our Board of Governors, Senate, and Alumni Council, members of the judiciary, members of government and civic leaders, leaders from our graduate and undergraduate student associations, leaders from our academic and non-academic staff associations, members of our faculty, your Guild of Teachers, and finally, members of our senior leadership team at the University of Alberta. We are all here to celebrate and to welcome you to our alumni family. I hope you enjoy the day. I'd like to start by inviting greetings from the chair of our University Board of Governors, Mr. Michael Fair.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. Doug Stollery, President, Mr. Dr. David Turpin, distinguished guests, graduates, families, and friends. I'm pleased to be here today to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Governors. Convocation is a special time when the entire university community gathers to celebrate your tremendous achievements. Indeed, the university has much to celebrate, but today we are especially gathered to celebrate you, the graduating class of 2016. You have achieved a level of excellence which will be forever recognized in your university degree, a University of Alberta degree. Representing the Board of Governors, I and the full board are committed to excellence today and tomorrow, providing excellence in teaching and research that has supported you and will support those that follow in our ever-changing world. Alberta and Canada are a great place for all of us, and great today because of this graduating class of 2016. Your degree is a sign of your achievement at the University of Alberta. It is also a signal to others that you are the kind of citizens that bring knowledge, understanding, and skills to the society that we live in. Competent, giving, ethical, and engaged in the challenges and opportunities today and tomorrow for the public good. Congratulations to you, your families, friends, and supporters. Continue to learn, continue to achieve, enjoy today, and we wish you the very best for the future. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Marlon Schmidt, Minister of Advanced Education and MLA for Edmonton Gold Bar.
Well, thank you very much for that warm welcome, Michael, and good afternoon, Mr. Douglas Stollery, Dr. David Turpin, Board of Governors, Mr. Stephen Lewis, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, graduates, family and friends, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to bring greetings to you from Premier Rachel Notley, and thank you to the university for giving me the honor of joining you on quite a special day in your lives. I want to begin by congratulating Mr. Stephen Lewis for being recognized with an honorary Doctor of Laws degree. On behalf of all of the people of Alberta, thank you for your distinguished service to Canada and the United Nations and for your lifelong commitment to serving the public good. It's the courageous and forward-thinking leaders like you who inspire me and the emerging leaders that we have here among the class of 2016. And congratulations to the class of 2016. Today you join a long line of University of Alberta grads who have lifted this province to new heights. Every day we're being shaped by graduates of this university. Our communities, our economy, our society, they all have the stamp of people who walk through these halls. U of A grads are building a better future and creating opportunities for others, and as you head out the door today to carve your own path, you'll begin adding to this university's legacy of excellence. Education is the cornerstone of a healthy economy and a healthy society. It's the kind of foundation that leads to good jobs, and I have every confidence you've built that strong foundation here, and you'll build upon it too when you leave, because it'll guide you through tough times and empower you to reach your greatest potential. As Alberta diversifies its economy, it's critical that you have a chance to build that foundation for yourselves. And that's why our government is working to ensure that everyone has a better opportunity to get a good education. We don't see education as a cost, we see it as an investment in the future of all Albertans. That's why we've kept our promise to invest in students and institutions like this one in a stable and predictable way, at a time when Albertans need it most. Every student, like you, should have the access to a world-class education like the one you've received here at the University of Alberta, so that you can develop the knowledge and skills to be future-ready and be successful in an evolving economy and society. There's no limit to what you can achieve with a quality education. That's why you should dream big, follow your heart, get involved in your community. I wish you all the best, and once again, congratulations to the class of 2016.
It's now my pleasure to invite Dr. David Turpin, the President of the University of Alberta, to address Convocation.
Eminent Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the Academy, staff, family, friends, and especially you, our graduates, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate your success. I want to begin my remarks by telling you a little bit about myself. When I was a child, I had a passion for the ocean. It was a passion that started with a book my mother gave me when we lived in Calgary and I was in grade 4. Before long, we moved to the West Coast, and I spent hours walking the beaches with my family. I followed Jacques Cousteau, watching his underseas documentaries, and fascinated, I learned everything I possibly could. But nothing fully prepared me for the underwater world I encountered when I finally put on my diving gear and slipped beneath the waves. Suddenly, I was immersed in a world completely different from the one I knew. The experience took me out of myself and far away from the normal supports of life. And yet, that alien experience also showed me who I could be. From the sea, I made some of my most significant research contributions. There were other gifts as well. I became a scuba instructor and paid my way through undergraduate and graduate school. But most importantly, the ocean taught me how to see things differently. It taught me the value of opening myself up to a new world unlike any I had ever known, and thereby be changed. A few weeks ago, I traveled to China. One of the highlights of my trip was a meeting I had with a group of students and alumni. Some were University of Alberta students currently studying in China, and some were former international students who had studied here at the U of A. Whether they were Canadian or Chinese, they spoke passionately about the impact of immersing yourself in a new country and culture. Their stories touched me at my core because I could see them struggling to find the words that would properly capture the kind of transformation they had experienced. And it reminded me a bit of myself. Studying abroad had given them a new lens through which to view the world, a lens that no book or course or video could teach them. It had taught them not to be afraid. But it also challenged everything that they thought they understood about their world. They faced new languages, different political systems, and unfamiliar cultural practices that eventually they learned to communicate across cultural divides. I heard their stories, and it struck me how much they contrasted with the stories that dominate our media landscape today. I think of Brexit, or the divisiveness of the American election campaign. It is clear that many people feel disenfranchised. Some of us fear being left behind. And at times, all of us can feel unheard. I can't help but think that in spite of the ever-increasing avenues we have to communicate, we don't seem to be reaching each other. Instead, we can elect to filter the messages we receive or the news sites we visit to create our own customized echo chamber, where we literally don't have to see or to hear what we'd rather not. You are our future. You have the challenge of building our capacity for meaningful communication. It will require that you immerse yourself in environments where you don't feel comfortable or natural. It won't be easy. Although we may prefer to shy away from what we don't understand, we need to do the opposite. We need to open ourselves to each other and create a space where we can hear each other, see from each other's perspectives, and find solutions together. Over the time you have spent at the University of Alberta, you have made a start on this important task. That's the great advantage of studying at a large and diverse university. Every day you are surrounded by good people who are not like you. In class, you have needed to find a way to deal with these different perspectives. I hope that you use your education and all that entails to begin the process of entering into a world that is very different from your usual life. You have already had many opportunities to do so. Perhaps you did it by immersing yourself in the literature, music, or art of other eras or cultures. Perhaps you did it by exploring the unseen world made visible through high-powered microscopes. Perhaps you worked in a community organization or an industry where you were tossed into the unfamiliar and had to learn to cope. Or perhaps you found yourself in front of a classroom of 13-year-olds or at the bedside of a critically ill patient and had to meet the challenge of teaching and caring for them. These kinds of learning experiences are a great start. But now, as you move on to the next stage in your life, I encourage you to go further. Put on your metaphorical diving gear and dive into a world that is completely alien to you. Get outside of the comforts of the echo chamber you may have built around yourself and open yourself to the people and perspectives you think you can never understand. Open your own self to change, not only in society, but deep within yourself. This is scary and sometimes can feel risky and dangerous. Every time you dive into different waters, you take a risk. But I would not trade all that I've learned from my cold water diving adventures for the warm comfort of home. I am the person I am today because I took a leap into the unknown. Every one of us has a responsibility to do our utmost to make the world we inhabit better for all of us. Finding what is common between us, using our differences to be innovative and creative rather than isolationist and withdrawn is of vital importance. So to each of you, I ask that as so many University of Alberta alumni have done for more than a century, believe in your capacity to learn, to change, and to lead. Dive deep. Look and listen with an open heart and an open mind. Explore differences, build bridges, and create a better world for all of us. Congratulations, and we look forward to celebrating all of your future success. Thank you.
Knowledge shall not be the concern of scholars alone. The uplifting of the whole people shall be its final goal.
They inspire us all with their brilliance, creative force, and fervent desire to make the world a better place.
I accept in the name of our poor people.
Dream your dreams. It is possible to have a new kind of world.
Those who receive an honorary degree from the University of Alberta set the highest standards of dedication and excellence for students and for society at large.
You will always find it, your own courage or theirs, in the eyes of the other.
Go where there's no path and leave a trail for someone else.
And while their backgrounds and fields of endeavor vary widely, all are exceptional.
Maybe it's best if I just speak from the heart.
I will remember you. Will you remember me?
We face today a clash of ignorances.
You are who make the history. You are who create the future.
U of A honorary degree recipients embody the university's vision to inspire the human spirit through outstanding achievements in learning, discovery, and citizenship in a creative community.
I think we are now in the threshold of a new beginning.
It is a spirit that is building one of the world's great universities for the public good.
It is your attitude that will sustain you. It is not what happens to you, it is what you do with it.
Travel well, travel without prejudice, live long and prosper.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of the University of Alberta, it is my privilege to introduce Stephen Lewis for the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws, our learning community's highest honor. For over For over 100 years, the highest ideal of our university has been to seek whatsoever things are true. This search for truth, not only about ourselves, but also about the world we share, is at the heart of who we are. Today, we honor a person who has spent his lifetime seeking and speaking the truth, a champion of our shared humanity and our collective responsibilities as global citizens. Currently a professor of distinction at Ryerson University, Stephen Lewis began his commitment to public service when he was elected to the Ontario legislature at the age of 26. He went on to serve as the leader of the Ontario New Democratic Party and leader of the official opposition in that province. Following his career in politics, he was appointed as Canada's ambassador to the United Nations. He went on to serve as Deputy Executive Director of the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, or UNICEF, and was later appointed as the United Nations Secretary General's Special Envoy for HIV/AIDS in Africa. In that capacity, he was instrumental in drawing the attention of the world to the pandemic and in advocating for the responsibility of all countries to contribute to the solutions. In 2014, he served as Professor of Practice and Global Governance at the Institute for the Study of International Development at McGill University. Mr. Lewis is the co-founder and board chair of the Stephen Lewis Foundation, which supports women, orphan children, grandmothers, and people living with HIV and AIDS in Africa. He is also the co-founder and co-director of AIDS Free World, an international advocacy organization that exposes injustice, abuse, and inequality, social ills that underpin and continue to sustain the spread of HIV. He chronicled the role that the international community played in contributing to the HIV/AIDS pandemic in his award-winning and best-selling book of Massey lectures called Race Against Time, Searching for Hope in AIDS-Ravaged Africa. For his service to the world community, Mr. Lewis has received many honors. He was appointed Companion of the Order of Canada, Canada's highest honor for lifetime achievement in 2003. That same year, Maclean's magazine honored him as their inaugural Canadian of the Year. In 2005, Time magazine named Stephen Lewis as one of the 100 most influential people of the world. And in 2010, Forbes magazine named him one of the world's most powerful feminists. An African proverb reminds us that true teaching is not an accumulation of knowledge. It is an awakening of consciousness. This afternoon, we honor Mr. Lewis's willingness to speak the truth of his experience, to say things that may be hard for us to hear and yet are essential for us to understand. We celebrate a lifetime of outstanding leadership at the forefront of public health advocacy, especially for women and children. And we celebrate his inspiring example as an international champion of human rights. Eminent Chancellor, with great pride and respect, I present to you Stephen Lewis.
Stephen Lewis, in recognition of a lifelong commitment to human rights and social justice, I desire to confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws and to express the hope that we shall continue to be enriched by your wise counsel for many years to come.
I must say, if I can break the protocols, that was a most lovely and delicious citation which you conferred upon me, Mr. President, but I did feel as though my life was in the past tense. So I shall attempt to retrieve fractures of it now. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, the distinguished faculty, and you know, graduates, that your faculty verges on angelic perfection. And all of you here who are graduates and family and friends, and the sense in the room that you would all love to collectively levitate at this moment in time. It's a delicious celebratory occasion, and I'm tremendously honored to be an honorary degree recipient and to participate in this convocation. I'm particularly delighted to be here because the Chancellor is a friend. He's an extraordinarily effective and able legal scholar in my experience, but also a lovely, decent, and compassionate human being. He actually sits on the board of my foundation, where I can tell him what to do on a daily basis. And he, in an appropriate obeisance, pays no heed whatsoever to my remarks. I'm also tickled to be here for obvious reasons. I'm a democratic socialist. I feel as though I'm in the Holy Land. The only progressive fiefdom left in Canada. My heart is quaking with exhilaration. But let me not abuse the time which I've been given. This is for me, believe it or not, a kind of last hurrah. I've had the benefit of a variety of honorary degrees. I think a surfeit would be appropriate as a description, and it's time to bring it to an end. So I'm going to see this as my last honorary degree. I'm going to speak from the heart, as Katie Lang said in her words in that magnificent Nobel recipient video, and I want to make some unvarnished remarks. And if you find the remarks unpalatable, then you can usher me out of town. I shall not be offended, I assure you. Graduates who are collected here, I normally, in a convocation speech, exhort students to go out and change the world, to finish the collaboration in the university that you've experienced over the years, and then to take what you know and the convictions you have and go out and improve the human condition and do what the President said, make the world we inhabit better for all of us. I thought it was a lovely choice of words. And that seems to me to be an appropriate nostrum for a situation like this. But even though I still feel that way, I have a different propulsion. I have a kind of feeling that you go out and not simply change the world, but as a result of the election in the United States, you go out and save the world. That is what I would seek you to do. On January the 20th, Donald Trump will become the most powerful man on the planet, leading the most powerful nation on the planet. And I must say that none of us will escape the reverberations of what happens. Even today, on the front page of the Globe and Mail, there was a news story about the renegotiation of NAFTA, which is in the offing, which may well involve a considerable clamor around lumber and cattle, and that may have negative consequences for this country. But what is so remarkable is that all of you as graduates in this year, at this moment in time, I kind of can't get over it. I imagine you'll never forget it. You have been witness to the most extraordinary phenomenon of a man becoming President of the United States who regularly espoused xenophobia, racism, and misogyny, and stoked the fires of hate, which then turned out in large numbers to elect him. And there's never been a situation like that in Western democracies, not once. You're witness to something that has never occurred before. And it's in some ways quite terrifying to see in 2016 that the Ku Klux Klan in the United States celebrates the election of an American president, and that misogynists everywhere salivate over the oppression of women which his election may bring. Most of us have no idea what to expect. I'm not sure anyone, including the president-elect, knows what to expect. But there are two facts which I think are reasonably clear, and I simply want to reconnoiter them because it seems to me that they speak directly to the lives you will lead hereafter. The first is climate change. There is no issue on the planet that is more important. There is nothing that will mold the future of societies that is more important. The apocalyptic consequences of the road we are now on are real, and it is terribly important for countries generally to understand and to collaborate collectively on turning back the tide of the discharge of carbon and the extraordinary consequences of climate and global warming. And yet we have now in the White House in the United States a man who is determined to withdraw the United States from the Paris Accord, the one international agreement where countries finally came together and where in the aftermath the United States and China came together. A president of the United States who has no use for a carbon tax, a president of the United States who is positively intoxicated by oil and natural gas and the possibility of resurrecting coal, a man who has no interest whatsoever in renewable energy. We have occupying the most important country in the world as the most powerful man on the planet, someone who regards climate change as some kind of doctrinal mythology, who is a total denialist. And it's terrifying because the consequences for the planet are overwhelming. And it means that all of us somehow have to come together over the next several years and demonstrate that it is intolerable and that we will resist it. I have 4 grandsons. They're 14, 12, 6, and 4 years of age. And I look at them and I love them the way a grandfather loves his grandsons. And I think to myself, what in God's name is going to happen to these kids down the road? And how is it that less than 10 days ago, everything turned around from the incipient optimism which we began to feel to the unsettling despair with which we are now coping? But the second area, and I will admit to you without hesitation that it means more to me than anything else, is what it's going to mean for women and gender equality. Over the years that I've worked internationally, and I don't pretend there's anything special about it because the world is filled with activists who care about social change, but over the years what I've learned is that the single most important issue on the planet is the struggle for gender equality. You cannot continue to marginalize more than 50% of the world's population and expect ever to approximate human decency or human equity. And yet we now have in the White House someone who regards women and girls in the most scornful way, a kind of imbecilic, male, moronic sexism, which so diminishes women and girls that it takes your breath away. And within that country, they will soon appoint, Donald Trump will soon appoint, a judge to the Supreme Court of the United States who will turn back Roe versus Wade. There will be no longer the rights to abortion. Reproductive rights will be whittled away. Planned Parenthood will lose its funding. All of the issues which have animated the needs and rights of women across the planet, particularly global public health, which hits women so hard when they don't have public health because of poverty, because of disease. All of the range of international issues, international sexual trafficking, female genital mutilation, child marriage, inheritance rights, property rights, sexual violence, that whole panoply of rights that we're struggling to receive and to achieve for women and girls, they're regarded with contempt and indifference by the President of the United States. How is that possible? What has happened that causes such concern in every corridor? We couldn't even in the United Nations, I point out to you, manage to elect a Secretary General or to appoint a Secretary General who was a woman after 70 years continuous of male Secretaries General. And now we have someone who sees that as the arc of triumph rather than the arc of negligence. These are tough times ahead, and somehow, through a Herculean effort, we have to overcome what is happening so that Canada's values can prevail. Look, I'm a kind of geriatric recipient. I'm inching into my dotage. Thank God I still have an approximate voice. I look around at my own life and I ask myself 1,000 times, how did the world allow millions of people to die from HIV and AIDS when we had antiretroviral drugs to keep them alive? And why does it still continue? I ask myself, how can it be that 15 million girls under the age of 18 are married off every year? Marriages which are fundamentally a crime, marriages which render them into slaves in the household, where the older man who marries them feels entitled to rape them whenever his will, his sexual appetites require. How did it happen that we watched the Rwandan genocide as the world stood back and witnessed the carnage and raised nary a finger? How is it possible to see the horrific scenes of Syria or Yemen or the Central African Republic or the Democratic Republic of the Congo or Libya? What has happened to this world that it unravels in front of us, and we somehow cannot bring together the response that will humanize and civilize international society? And now we have been set back even further. And you know what drives me crazy about it all? Is that children, little children, by the millions, are collateral damage in this world. We bomb hospitals, we bomb schools, we abduct kids by the thousands, we destroy their little lives, and we sit back sanctimoniously and discuss it in diplomatic circles. And now we have someone in the White House who fundamentally doesn't give a tinker's damn. So I say to all you graduates, I don't care whether it's an NGO you join, or a political party, or a civil service, or you use your wondrous professional disciplines honed here at the University of Alberta. I don't care how you employ them, but I beg you to understand that the world has turned. It hasn't just changed, it's turned. And your collective response, moral, principled, determined, tenacious, indefatigable, it can save this world, and I beg you to do so. Thank you so much for honoring me.
You know the expression, that's a hard act to follow. What an extraordinary speech. And what an extraordinary person. And what a gift to all of us to have you address us today, Stephen. To commemorate this honorary degree, we would now like to have you sign our university honor roll. Thank you, Dr. Lewis. You are now officially one of our family. And now, graduates, it's your turn. As the name of each graduate is called to cross the stage, I will formally admit you to your degrees, and we will have an opportunity to congratulate you. On your journey across the stage, you will also walk past the University of Alberta ceremonial mace. Centuries ago, the the mace was a symbol of authority over life and death. Today, this mace represents the life-changing power of knowledge and the importance of our university and our graduates in the community.
Good afternoon. Candidates for degrees, please rise. Eminent Chancellor, President Turpin, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you these scholars and ask that they be pledged and admitted to the degrees to which they are entitled.
I would like to ask you all to follow along on page 5 of your program. And in a few moments, you will have a few words to say. Do you promise faithfully to observe and loyally to maintain the statutes, customs, privileges, and liberties of this, your university? Do you solemnly promise to conduct yourself in all things loyally and faithfully to the honor of your university, the encouragement of learning, and the good of your country?
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province and with the consent of this university, I admit you to the degrees to which you are entitled and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining to such degrees. I charge you to use them for the uplifting of the whole people, to inspire the human spirit, for all who believe to serve your God, and to pursue more steadfastly whatsoever things are true. Please be seated.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Heather Zwicker and Professor Randolph Wimmer, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research and the Faculty of Education. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Colleen Dawn Alpern. Jamie Lee Beck. Simi Chung. Faiza Adil Ghanem. Deborah Hicks. Syed Mohammed Fahad Latifi. Isabella Orzelski. Kelly Nicole Palfy. Thomas Brendan Pearson. Eliza Ann Pinegar. Grace John Ruiza. Pamela Dawn Timmonson. Catherine Ann Van Kessel. Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Master of Education, Ruhi Ahmad. Judith Eleanor Anderson. Daniel Basley. Carly Ray Ann Borza. Roseanne Marie Boutin. Receiving today both our Master of Education and a Graduate Certificate in Community-Based Research and Evaluation, Krista Lynn Brower. Brittany Nicole Budson. Bradley Arthur David Burns. Nicole Marie Burrows. Cheryl Louise Cameron. Cynthia Lynn Campbell. Clarissa Chung. Krista Ruby Diane Collins. Colleen Cotner. Harley Charles Cortorelli. Angela Dawn Dalton. Megan Christina Davey. Georgia Laureen Davies. Rehana Shafin Devji. Carlo Antonino de Meleg. Christy Lee Dunn. Nicole Marie Eisenkrine. Sylvia Menezes Eleftherio. Hilary Jean Ferrion. Stephanie Francine Flowers. Sukyen Fakchan. Catherine Anne Forain. Gregory Allen Freer. Claire Elizabeth Funk. Melanie Tamara Garrison. Robert James Gray. Peter Wood Guthrie. Leslie Dawn Heintzen. Jameson Claire Hoffman. Joyce Annette Hollaboff. Megan Loren Homer. Carolyn Irmgard Erlbacher Uriu. Receiving today both his Master of Education and a graduate certificate in community-based research and evaluation, Alan Donald Jeans. Tyler Brandon Jesse. Jolene Jerry Kitt. Ellen Marie Claver. Sean Nathan Cranenborg. Janine Laboucan. Joseph Vernon Lavallee. Sophia Jeanette Lehman. Jordan Craig Long. Devon Alexandra McInnes. Barbara Ray Madsen. James Locke Matthey. Carly Ann McAvoy. Jennifer Marie McLean. Kristen Michelle Merritt. Kathleen Margaret Milliken Morrow. Kathleen Mary Moran. Kenneth Charles Murdoch. Erin Marie Ochoa. Susan Jean Payton. Lisa Dawn Peters. Amanda Dawn Pilipchuk. Mary Elizabeth Pinkowski. Kelsey Erin Reed. Robert Andrew Reed. Delcy Carol Rollheiser. Sally Rebecca Rudakoff. Isaac Jacob Schnell. Janet Louise Segato. Deepak Singh. Jessica Ann Sleva. Leslie Gale Smale. Cody Byron Dennis Stanky. Penelope Jean Stiles. Irina Maria Smilhalski. Reda Abdel Rahman Tayem. Cheryl Ann Taylor. Stacy Lee Taylor. Navjot Kaur Thind. Trevor Lee Van Sommeren. Megan Ann Walker. Mark Anthony Woodrow Wall. Shauna Lee Walter. Tony Leah Ellen Warrior. Alicia Rose Williamson. Angela Keeley Wolfe. Aisha Tamara York. David Adrian Castillo. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Library and Information Studies, under whom we should include David, by the way. Nora Katharina Heheman. Sophia Ann Hussein. Catherine Ann Little. Bethany Marie McCollum. Christina Pollack. Kelty Lynn Ross. Sandra Lynn Schwab. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Randolph Wimmer, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Education. For the degree of Bachelor of Education, Bradley Curtis Anderson. Beatrice Christine Auger. Miriam Barise. Taryn Lynn Beaupré. Jocelyn Ann Bellion. Receiving today both her Bachelor of Kinesiology and Bachelor of Education, Sydney Ann Bokenfor. Megan Bunstra with distinction. Miles Davis Buffard with distinction. Stacy Dawn Campbell with distinction. Desiree Cowett. Raven Jennifer Cardinal. Wanda Lee Carlin with distinction. Duane Ching. Kylie Marie Christie. Patsy Diane Cloutier. Emily Laura Chanansky with distinction. Kirby Erin Dabbs. Paula Marie Umahan Daza. Tess DeHoek. Tracy Lee DeMeester with distinction. Corinne Danielle Filipiak. Lori Ellen Fox with distinction. Madison Jade Friesen with distinction. Kaylee Dawn Marie Gibson. Abnash Kar Grewal. Alina Gunter. Erin Lucy Elizabeth Gullberg. Carl Hamilton. Christy Lee Hill. Jennifer Ashley Hill. Laramie Adele Hilush. Leah Alexandria Hodnott. Anita Lynn Holt with distinction. Dacia Liana Hozak. Jade Whitney Ingalls with distinction. Zachary Alexander Johnston. Melanie Lim Lapp. Mevisha Maestri. Carly Ann Dusty Makichuk. Receiving today both her Bachelor of Education and Certificate in International Learning, Leslie Cleo McMillan. Jessica Caitlin Ashton Mitchell. Erin Berry Monteleone with distinction. Moiselle Rafol Montoyo. Charlene Grace Noski. Asigil Ojan. Jillian Judith Pasika with distinction. Kristen Roxanne Paul Buxa. Robert Hugh Priestley with distinction. Desiree Alicia Rémillard. Bonnie Ruth Rhodes. Courtney Michelle Rolfe. Anne Marie Ross. Terry Marilyn Ryan with distinction. Amber Rose Senich. Kyle Vincent Spong. Justin Channing Swanson. Dana Lee Dawn Thompson. Stacy Ivy Toussaint Thomas. Emily Nicole Wilson with distinction. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Heather Zwicker and Professor Kerry Mummery, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research and the Faculty of Physical Education and Recreation. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Jennifer Joan Crawford. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Arts, Clara Jane Elizabeth Bly. Robert Edward Krebs. Tony Sparkling Eyes Letendre. And a sparkling reception. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Science, Caitlin Jane Haldke. That is Haladke. I'm sorry, Caitlin. Stephen Grant Samuel Hunter. Leanne Marie Yolande Jean. Morgan Ray Potter. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Coaching, Brock Daniel Davidiak. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Karen Mummery, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Physical Education and Recreation. For the degree of Bachelor of Physical Education, Lydia Alexandra Sokol with distinction. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Kinesiology, Jessica Dawn Cameron. Grace Chan. Jocelyn Taylor Cho. Nicola Elaine Cullen. Emily John Damberger. Pascal Eric Dumoulin. Tanner James Gray. Hannah Dawn Hines. Austin Dennis Hodinsky. Brittany Carleen Hutchian. Lori Teresa Lacey. Catherine Lynn Luknowski. Joshua Miles Nill with distinction. Kara Quist. Alyssa Marie Celia Sims. Haley Marie Smith. Jacqueline Ray Savekla. Caitlin Taroon. Étienne Benoit Martin Thompson Légaré. Anna Elizabeth Woodman. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology, Louis Joseph Anderson with distinction. Avneet Kaur Hare with distinction. Taylor Stephanie Jakula with distinction. Broderick Christopher Calvitis with distinction. Alexandra Marie Karinsik with distinction. Kaylee Shane Margaret Peters. Kushbu Punjabi with distinction. Danny Lee Reed with distinction. Christina Teresa Sadowski with distinction. Brittany Ariana Tomin. Allison Rose Tissick with distinction. Christopher Aaron Wayne. Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Recreation, Sport and Tourism, Danielle Marie Bergsman. Coralie Amanda Brass. Receiving today both her Bachelor of Arts in Recreation, Sport and Tourism and her Certificate in Sustainability, Virginie Elizabeth Marie Clausen. Jeanette Marie Gluska. Megan Diane Holstrom. Erin Ray Holman with distinction. Receiving today all three of his Bachelor of Arts in Recreation, Sports and Tourism, Certificate in Community Engagement and Service Learning, and Certificate in Aboriginal Sport and Recreation, Joel Robert Johnston. Kira Nicole Lillian Kingston. Chelsea Nicole Pitchko. Teresa Marie Ann Stasek. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Heather Zwicker and Professor Robert Hannell, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research and the Faculty of Rehabilitation Medicine. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Melissa Jane Scotulus. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Science, Jillian Renee Okutovich. Janice Kathleen Bedard. Rochelle Amanda Brody. Laura Ann Marina Brompton. Melanie Sharon Kerrick. Victoria Ann Carter. Receiving both her Master of Science and Post-Baccalaureate Certificate, Alicia Maria Clapp. Jessica Rose Clark. Samantha Curry. Caitlin June Dulkey. Daniel DeSantis. Kate Elizabeth Dumbrell. Jenna Marie Edwards. Stephanie Robin Gould. Lucy Elizabeth Grant. Lindsay Marie Hegstrom. Caitlin Lauren Hill. Bryn Mary Hornby. Heather Lynn Howell. Allison Elizabeth Johns. Vanessa Claire Koo. Amanda Maria Lise. Andrea Lynn Marie Mallon. Catherine Martin. Kelsey Marie McLaughlin. Nasha Marie Muck. Kirsten Marie Robertson. John Robinson. Avneet Sadra. Amber Rose Sherb Beach. Kayla Ray Stephenson. Nicole Helen Terrio. Heidi Tess Williston. Christy Jennifer Wilson. Sarah Lynn Young. Melissa K. Zado. Éminent chancelier, au nom de la professeure Heather Zwicker et professeur Martine Pellerin, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter les gradués de la Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research et la Faculté Saint-Jean. Au grade de maîtrise en sciences de l'éducation, Marie-Thérèse Hébert. Simplice Tukam Wanye. Susan Westgate. Éminence, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter les gradués suivants au grade de maîtrise en arts. Colin Laurent Fagna. Avon Asman Hashi. Éminent chancelier, au nom de la professeure Martine Pellerin, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter les gradués du baccalauréat de la Faculté Saint-Jean au grade de baccalauréat et sciences. McKenna Ray Oleksiak. Éminence au grade de baccalauréat en éducation, Carole Anne Brûlé. Lise Anne Gervais. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Chris Anderson, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Native Studies. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Native Studies, receiving today both his bac and his certificate in Aboriginal Governance and Partnership, Grant Curtis Bruno. Receiving today both his Bachelor of Arts and certificate in Aboriginal Governance and Partnership, Renee Michael Ross McCarthy. Kayla Dawn Pituka. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Heather Zwicker and Professor Faith Davis, I present the following graduates for degrees in the Faculty of Graduate Studies and Research and the School of Public Health. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Kathy Lynette Belton. Laura Andrea Rodriguez Villamizar. Miriam Ines Cristina Villarroel. Eminent Chancellor for the degree of, I beg your pardon, I heard that one, didn't I? Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Master of Science in Public Health, Quindestra Baker. Andrea Lynn Dunn. Receiving today both her Master of Science and Graduate Certificate in Community-Based Research and Evaluation, Aleth Lidwin Kabore. Ferdinand Osege Okpere. Donna Lalani Leka Munasinghe. Receiving today both her Master of Science and Graduate Certificate in Community-Based Research and Evaluation, Catherine Alice Paulson. Giri Puligandra. Montun. Eminent Chancellor for the degree of Master of Public Health, Elizabeth Fleming. This is, by the way, Serena Lee. Danielle Renee Stewart Smith. Samira Tome. Erin Michelle Wright. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of Professor Randolph Wimmer, I present the following graduates for degrees, the diploma in the Faculty of Education. Tinu Ajayan. Joanne Espiritu Almeida. Olga Chassé. Helena Maria Heiser. Partej Kaur. Arlene Morales. Daniela Maria Neves. Éminent chancelier, au nom de la professeure Martine Pellerin, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter les gradués des diplômés de la Centre collégial de l'Alberta, Campus Saint-Jean, au grade de diplôme de technique administration des affaires, Nagalan Kamara. Kadim Jong. Bai Modu Fall. Marie-Claudie Stéphanie Fenelon. Nei Sokena Anne. And Laure Ariane Tiepo.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculties, I present to you the remaining scholars whose names appear in the convocation program, but who are not in attendance this afternoon.
Well, graduates, you made it. You are now officially on the other side, so congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the class of 2016. And now, graduates, it's your turn. I'd like you to stand up and turn around and get everyone's attention. Let's give the people who have supported you through all of this, your parents and siblings, your grandparents, your spouses and children, a huge round of applause. Thank you. This is truly a very proud moment for all of them and for the University of Alberta. In total, we will graduate 8,470 students at convocation ceremonies held this spring and fall. Now that you're all back with us, it's time to turn our attention to the final part of today's ceremony. Before you are formally welcomed by the University of Alberta Alumni Association, I invite you to watch the screens for the presentation of a special video montage. The song that accompanies the video, Je te retrouve, or I Remember You, was commissioned by Campus Saint-Jean in 2008 to honor the University of Alberta's centenary. It captures the hopefulness and potential of days spent at the university, and hopefully sparks your own memories of your years here. The song is also a display of many U of A talents. It was composed by Professor Emeritus Dr. Franz Lavassier-Ouimet and arranged by U of A alumnus Dr. Alan Bevan. The recording is performed by Choral Saint-Jean under the direction of Laurier Fagnan. Enjoy.
Je viens, c'est de vous qui m'accomplit.
Eminent Chancellor, thank you. To the 2016 graduating class, congratulations. My name is Dr. Heather Raymond, and I graduated from the University of Alberta in 2002. And it's my honor to congratulate you on becoming a University of Alberta alumnus and to officially welcome you into our alumni family. You are joining a proud and inspired group of graduates committed to each other's success and committed to building the University of Alberta into one of the world's great universities for the public good. I call upon you to stay connected with each other, with other alumni, and with your university throughout your lifetime. In turn, your fellow alumni and your university will be there to support you. I also call upon you to go forth from this place and be inspired by the promise and challenge of our alumni to do great things. Our alumni have done great things in the past. Now it is your turn. Great things are actions big and small. They can take place anywhere, anytime. They come from using the knowledge and the talents you've gained here for the betterment of yourself and others. Congratulations and best wishes in all your future endeavors.
No matter what your story, where you came from, what it took to get here, at this place, you became who you are. We are 100 years wise, more than 250,000 strong, in 142 countries around the globe. We are educators, innovators, volunteers, leaders, pioneers, people who changed the world, and the people who make it beautiful. We are University of Alberta alumni, and for a century we have come together and carved a trail for those who follow. Together, we are stronger. Together, we shine brighter. Together, from this place into the world, together we have, and we will, do great things.
In closing, I would like to offer a few words of thanks. Dr. Stephen Lewis. Thank you once again for sharing your story and your wisdom with our university family. You are an inspiring example of leadership, service, and accomplishment to our graduates. In accepting this honorary degree, you bring great honor to the University of Alberta. I also wish to thank our talented vocalist and our outstanding Convocation band under the direction of Dr. Thomas Dust. And I wish to acknowledge the hard work of the staff of the Office of the Registrar for their organization of today's convocation. And finally, to our graduates. Today is an important milestone in a journey of lifelong learning. Your degree will open new horizons for you and for our entire community. As you contemplate your future, be mindful of the fact that of all the things you may do, of all the successes you may achieve, nothing is more important than the kindness you show to others. Congratulations on all that you have accomplished leading up to the conferral of your degree today. Wherever your dreams may take you, I invite you to remain close to your alma mater, the University of Alberta. And I'm pleased to invite everyone to join us on the main floor and the first floor balconies for refreshment and fellowship. Enjoy the celebration.